So in this video, I'm going to show how you can use a smart enum um, in a situation where you might want to have a zeroth item. So if you look here, I've got a countries enumeration that has all of the countries, but it also has a zeroth item. And I'm going to use this zeroth item in drop-down list boxes. I want to be able to show this. This is enumerations tied to many of the entities in my code. And in many cases, they're going to be, somebody's going to be creating a job posting or purchasing something and selecting it in the credit card field. And so in those situations, I obviously want to allow a user only to select one item. And so a zeroth item allows me to set up a validation scenario where I can check against whether or not they've provided a value greater than 0. The problem, though, is that when I want to do some other code with this enumeration, say I want to do a multi-select list box where people can select the countries that they're looking for job postings, which is a scenario that I'm actually looking to do. So that gives you a problem where if you just use the list method, you would have every single one of these items, including the zeroth item. So the best way to do that is to actually be able to, I'm using a Blazor component here that I've built out. And you can see I'm using a Dev Express list box. And what I've done, instead of like you'll see these other ones where I've actually used the list method, for this one example, I've actually created a property, which is down here, which is just a list of countries enum. And call that country display. And now I can use that as my data source for this control. But now, because I've created it as a separate property, I can go into the uninitialized of this Blazor component, and I can now put a where link statement. And now I can strip out that zeroth item and give me my list of items. And now I can put that right back into my data source, put it in my list box, and away I go. And you could think of other scenarios where you would actually maybe want to strip out things. Maybe you've added properties to your SmartEnum for sort order or for things such as whether a value is still enabled or not. These enumerations are being used in our as a replacement for very old lookup tables that we used to store in our SQL. So now we're using these enumerations as the actual field values, and being able to now filter that on the fly by using a where SQL link statement gives me the ability to actually control this enumeration a little bit when I'm giving it to a UI display. So that's hopefully something that you guys can use in your code when you're working with these smart enumerations and have even more power over the display of items. Hope this helps. Thanks.